I didn't want people to think, oh, Gotti fell off. You know how niggas get to talking. That nigga fell off. 50 crushed him. He ain't got no bread. He ain't got nothing.
From New York, Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro in the morning, beautiful Laura Styles, Wrestling T. Rosenberg. Get the exclusive Bobby Heenan Puma WWE collabo.
Foot Locker.
Ooh.
We almost said it all. Yeah, coming soon.
Ooh.
And
Irv Gotti.
Irv Gotti.
Hey.
Yo, first of all,
New York, what up?
love that you supporting the movement.
Absolutely.
I know my rights. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick and the whole team at Know My Rights Camp.
Absolutely.
Irv, where have you been?
I have been in Hollywood, I guess. At first, I've been in L.A., and then once I got the deal for Tales, I shoot it in Atlanta because I need the tax incentive money. I want New York to have tax incentive.
Well, the mayor of Atlanta has made sure that shooting in Atlanta is
a priority. It's billions of dollars that's going through there, and you can't, for every dollar they give you 30 cents back. So you can't beat that.
You can't.
The
not
state of
beat
Georgia, so your budget is $10 million to shoot these things. You get another $3 million.
In tax breaks?
Today I did read an article. Andrew Cuomo, governor of the state, did something to make sure that more TV shows were
It's
being
back in New York.
Yeah, Marvel and
we wanna shoot here, but New York is
super
expensive.
Right.
So quickly, let's talk Tales.
Yes.
Then I want to get into the relaunch of the Murder Inc.
Yes.
and everything.
Yes.
Tales. You came up with this. This is your concept.
This is my baby. It's something that I conceived through my brain, and I birthed it.
I saw a lot of chatter online. Talk to me about your decision to reverse the race role, because I remember the first one, it was a lot of chatter about that, at the very end, the white guy getting lynched.
Well, the whole thing, that's Brody Jenner, by the way. My good friend Brody Jenner, I hung him. That was an interesting call because I said, hey, Brody, I need a big favor. He said, what? I said, I got to hang you, bro. So the interesting thing with Tales is it's supposed to be creative. It was built to be creative. So and it's also, we take hip hop songs and we turn them into movies, or mini movies, right? So when doing N.W.A. F the Police, it's like, do I do white cops killing black people? It's kind of, we've seen that in movies.
And we see it in real life.
We see it in real life, more importantly. And I said, it's just not exciting. It's not what I want Tales to be, where I want it to be. It's predictable.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
that's the one episode where I actually got on my political activist. And I'm not really a political activist or whatever. I'm just a cool person. So I see the things that's wrong. So I said, this is one episode where I could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And do something. And I did race reversal, which was interesting because I casted this 15-year-old Parker, right? A mad cute 15-year-old white boy, always smiling. He did the read. He's smiling. He's so happy. I said, Joe, you're perfect, right? His father was there, too. And he said, what do you mean? I said, because, you're so happy. I said, I'm going to kill you. I'm putting 4 in your chest, right? And I said, Joe, he's looking at me and his father's looking at me. And I said, Joe, because I just want people to see it another way. You know what I'm saying? And when we did that scene, what was so shocking is everyone on set was like, we didn't know what to say. It was like a moment where like, yo, we just killed a 15-year-old white kid on TV, right? And we thought about it, and we didn't really know if that was ever done before, because Hollywood don't put those images with young white youth getting
But isn't
shot.
it crazy? Isn't it crazy? You're filming something fictional.
Fictional,
And because of our social programming,
right?
you had to question whether or not a fictional, conceptual role reversal
Right.
fantasy was okay, and you felt some type of way about it. That's
Yeah.
how deep the program is.
That's how deep the program is, because let's just be honest, when we see black people dying, a 15-year-old,
We're used
we go,
to it.
That's messed up. Yo, pass me the potato chips. Like, it's like
We're used to it.
we desensitized to
Yeah.
it. And seeing the white kid get killed, it was like more messed up when it shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? But it felt more messed up. You know what I'm saying? Which was crazy. But that whole thing with the race reversal was just to bring forth just a conversation of how does it feel. That's why I use D'Angelo. If you watch the episode, I use D'Angelo at the end when the white people are rioting, and it's how does it feel, and it's a crazy imagery to the sound because it's violent and crazy, and D'Angelo is asking how does it feel, and that was the whole premise of the episode, just to let everyone, not just white people either, but Spanish, everyone, Asian. You know, a lot of times we think it's just black and white. It's not just black and white. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got Asian, there's a billion Asian. Like, what about them? Are they, you know?
And a lot of them are, all cultures, I think, in some ways are dealing with what the issues in America differently, right? Which a lot of them can start with race, but woven in there is economics.
Yeah.
And the promise of America, right? Where you know, people first generation, I came to this country for a better life.
Yeah.
And I get here and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have more money, but am I doing better?
Right.
You know what I mean? Which I think is one of those things in American society.
I want everyone to know crystal clear. I'm not like Spike Lee. I'm not like Malcolm X. No disrespect to Spike Lee, but I'm saying I'm not that kind of filmmaker.
But you are making sure
is a message.
Yeah, but you are making sure that there is a conversation.
Yeah,
and that it's compelling.
With that specific episode, with
right.
what is going on in America in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Well, longer than that, but
longer than that.
But with the cameras
and the topic that's been going on, I felt
and
this
you're
is a great opportunity.
You're just trying to, because you have to be mindful when you start a series that you don't want to let people. If what you're going for is not that on a constant basis, you don't want to set the expectation of like this is a political show. No, it's a show that interprets music.
That's why I did that. Hey, I'm not a political. I'm just a cool person. I felt I had an opportunity to do and create a message or whatever like that. But the rest of the episode, Tales, is an anthology series, which means every week, new story, new deal, new thing. Like the
new actors every time?
New actors every time. And I love it because I'm giving a lot of new actors and actresses that don't really get a shot to shine, and I love that. I'm giving them their shot.
Tales air?
Tuesdays on BET. Right now, it's down until October. We did 3 episodes. Everyone's mad at that too. Everyone's like, well, "How did you stop?" I said, "Yo, hit BET." And so I'm like, anyone who's mad, hit BET. Go to @BET and say, "Yo, we want Tales." You understand?
Well, because it was like a pilot. It was a test.
It was a little summer run.
We had we have an 8 episode order, and they chose to break it up. And I don't know why. It's my first experience in TV, but I think it has something to do with in the fall. I think the ratings.
Yeah, it's a bigger time.
It's a bigger time.
Yeah.
So they kept
that makes
3.
sense. So they sprinkled it.
They sprinkled it to get people excited, and then the 5 episodes come after the Hip Hop Awards, October 10th.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so it runs through
and
October to November.
Guys and all
heavy
that.
promo. As far as that go, they behind the show. I would like them to promote off network because. You know what I'm saying? I want everyone to watch.
Well, that's the hard part.
Yes.
You can't just promote. It is always frustrating when people promote on network only for a product you have. If it's a new kind of product, you
unless
need to show
everyone
it other
watches the network.
Right. No, you get people to watch all the time.
Unless millions of people watch the network, then you're good. You understand? But if millions of people ain't watching the network, I got to bring people back to the network and fight and scratch and show. But I'm built for the struggle.
How do you go about handling the rights musically? Like, for example, when you use a F the Police, how do you have to pay Interscope?
Yes. Not Interscope. That was a priority.
Priority, right, sorry.
Yeah, and really it's Tamika Wright. She owns everything.
Oh, it's all Eazy-E's
wife. It was one person to talk to for F the Police. Just one.
Really?
For publishing and mastering.
Everything was Eazy-E's?
And that is Tamika Wright.
Wow.
Shout out to Tamika. Shout out to Tamika.
She's cool.
She's cool. She's hard to get to, but once you get to her, she's the coolest. You know what I'm saying? And once me and her had a conversation, I told her about the concept. She got into it, and she said, "Yo, you got my full blessing." So shout out to
Tamika. So she's able to then decide
she could have said no.
Right.
She could have said, "Nah, you can't use it."
What's the most expensive song you've tried to get so
far?
Well,
it was all the way we did it is favored nations. So this way, no one feels slighted, no one's thing, and we let them know that everyone got the same thing.
Oh, so that was it?
Yeah, everyone got the same fee, from Slick Rick to Children's Story to N.W.A. to Method Mary. Everyone got the same.
I got a story to tell.
I got a story to tell, Biggie. Big shout out to Diddy, my man Diddy. He blessed me, and the Biggie's Notorious B.I.G. estate, which is ran by Wayne Burrow, Miss Valletta Wallace. I thank all of y'all. I hope y'all was happy. Well, they told me they loved the episode. You know what I'm saying? The interesting thing with that episode, which is Tales, I'm trying to give y'all the mindset of Tales because I want it to be creative. So we all heard the Biggie story. We know he met this chick. She was dating a player of the New York Knicks. They had an affair and everything. So what we did with the episode is we told it from the female perspective. Why did this chick have this guy in her man's bed having sex? So when you watch the episode, it gives it from her perspective. And her husband or fiance was a cheating bastard. And you know what I'm saying? That's what led her to do what she did.
Yo, I don't know if this one crossed your mind.
It's all fictional too. That's fictional. I don't know if that's the real thing because you know a lot of people with Biggie when that Joe and he said Joe. I don't know if it was Mason. R.I.P. Mace. That was my man. I don't know. This was all fictional and because people was coming up to me like, yo, so that's what Mason's white. I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't there.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Can you tell us any of the other songs you have picked out for the next run or no?
For season 2?
For the next 5.
I can give you the first 8.
Yeah, those ones.
Well, that was N.W.A. That was F the Police, Cold Hearted, Meek Mill, Notorious B.I.G. Story to Tell. Then coming up next, Trap Queens, Fetty Wap, which is a dope episode. It's all set in a strip club, but for females, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give it away. I want to give it away, but I ain't gonna give it away. So it's Trap Queens, then it's Slick Rick Children's Story, which big shout out to my man Ricky D. I got him narrating the whole episode.
Oh, that's nice. That's great.
Oh, do you know how when I spoke, I said, you don't understand. Like, he gave me my first, like, hip-hop moment. I was, like, 17, 18. If y'all remember the skating rink in Jersey, it was this spot called The Rink. It was a skating rink that everyone used to go to, right? So I was there, and my man Ricky D at the height of
Children's Story at that moment?
No, at the height of the Great Adventures of Slick Rick, when he was on, like, Own the World, Fuego, calling everyone peasants and everything. Like, he might have been, at the time, the most arrogant rapper that ever existed. Because he used to be like, you peasants, and he used to call rappers and other dudes peasants.
And he had the most ridiculous chunk jewelry, like just look.
And he had that accent, so his thing, and
eye patch.
And he was the first one to dress. He was coming to the skating rink, and he had like on like a suit.
Yeah,
like a suit. Like it wasn't like it was just. That was just his aura with all of the jewelry. When he had on the diamonds, like, yo, this dude is heavy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I had a moment. It was my first thing. He was driving like a cherry red 300, and I told him this. And I said, Joe, you drove past me slow. You got out the car. You had on your Kango, and you was just standing there in all your glory while every car was banging Adventures of Slick Rick. This is like when it first came out, and I was like, yo, I said, I ain't gonna front. It was an inspiring moment. I said, yo, this is the game I need to be in. You know what I'm saying? The cherry red 300 CE. Like, and anyone who knows, that was like the car. It was the coupe, two-door, and this cherry red, the 300 CE, had the Lorenzos or whatever, the chrome thing. So it was like, for that moment, it was the epitome. At the hottest place, it was mobbed, packed. So yeah, Ricky D. Okay, so it's Children's Story. The Roots, Baby, You Got Me, which is like a 50 Shades of Grey episode, ladies.
Oh, wow.
Y'all are gonna fuck out, right? And then Jay-Z 99 Problems, super episode. And then I'm directing the finale, Meth and Mary, All I Need, and I'm gonna deliver the illest hip hop love story that you could ever imagine, Quentin Tarantino style.
I love it. So, Irv, like, I think people are getting a peek inside your mind a little bit of how you've created for so long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, not creating music right now, right?
Yeah.
But we'll get to what you are doing right
Tales
now.
got me back into
But
music.
Tales has got you back in that direction. Where have you been in the last, I guess it's been...
like 06, 07 is when I started my sabbatical. So like 10 years.
Yeah.
All right. But really, when I exited the music business, I was at Universal Motown. Things wasn't clicking with them. or whatever. So
and this was after all of the being on the cover of the newspaper and all that.
Yeah, this was after I beat the feds.
Right.
And after I beat the feds, Doug Morris gave me a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he felt bad for turning his back on me, and then I'm innocent. Like, he turned his back on me, I'm guilty, he feels good, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when they said not guilty, I'm like, yo, you piece of shit, you turned your back on.
After I made you so much money.
Yeah, after I laid it down, and I told you I was innocent, and none of y'all believe me. But, I'm not mad at them for that, because what would you do if the government sends you a letter and Peter says, yo, you talk to Gotti again, you're going to be his co-defendant. You're like, Gotti, listen, I can't talk to you no more, kid. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't street things. These are industry people. They're not built with a code of, even dudes that's built with a code, they fold. You understand? So I get it. You understand? But he gave me a lot of money. So I went to Universal Motown, which was a mistake. I should have told them, give me the money and I'm going back to Def Jam, because Def Jam understood me and they got me. So I think when I had my #1 record with Lloyd and Lil Wayne with the U record, and his album came out, it wouldn't have went #2. If I was on Def Jam, he'd have sold probably double what he sold. He sold like 150. He would have did like 250, and we'd have had the #1 album. That was the first album off of my acquittal. I was telling Universal Motown, I said, I need this album to go #1. Buy them if you have to. Do whatever you can, because then I could go on a marketing spin that's enormous. I'm back. I can't scream, I'm back, motherfuckers, and I came in #2. You understand? So Musiq Soulchild, who was with Leo, because Leo was calling me, he was at Warner's. He says, you think you got it in the bag, big boy? You don't have it in the bag. And he fucking beat me by 2,000 units.
No.
Yeah.
With Musiq's second album?
2,000 units?
Musiq Soulchild did 146, and we did 144 with having the #1 single, not R&B, but Hot 100, the #1 single in the country with Lloyd and you, and we lost by 2,000. Leo for sure bought him.
Classic.
You think you got it in the bag?
He calls me 3 days before you think you have it in the bag, big boy? You better think again. You're going to see what it is when you're on my team. And he was showing me. He was spanking his son.
Fast forward, you're on his team.
Yeah, I'm on his team now. Yeah. When it came time to choose a thing, it was a no-brainer because of what I just explained with Universal Motown. And it's like when I went to that experience, Gary Morella, man, Gary Morella, great promo guy. Yeah. I was in his office because how I work, I integrate myself with my partners. So I'm in the marketing, I'm in the promotions. I'm like, yo, what can we do? I integrate myself. And they sent a letter saying, do not listen to Irv Gotti. You work for Universal Motown. So I came into Gary's and he was dejected. And I said, Gary, G money, what's up? I'm coming in
he
with
doesn't usually lose his...
Oh, he lost all of it. And his head was down and he said, yo, I can't talk to you. I said, what the hell do you mean you can't talk to me? And he showed me the letter. And he's like, you got to speak to Sylvia and she'll tell me what to do. After that day, I called Zach Horowitz and I said, Joe, I can't win here. True story. I can't win here, dog. You know what I'm saying? So after he came in #2, I was totally dejected, demoralized, flattened, and I basically just took the money. I took the money and broke out because they was paying me like $2 million a year overhead.
And you could just take that. That could just be your money.
1,000,000%. So I let everyone go. I gave them hugs. I said, yo, it's great.
We'll be back.
And the artist, Ja never put out an album on Universal Motown. If you check the stats.
And then where did Lloyd end up going after that?
Lloyd went to Interscope and did records with G Unit.
Right.
And his name became Disloyal Lloyd.
Because of that? Because of the G Unit degree?
Yeah, a lot of people.
By the way, slept on. It's a bummer too. Lloyd's a great talent.
Lloyd's a monster.
He's a real talent.
It's another case, right? It's another case where I just wish he would have just rocked. He would have rocked with me.
It's tough for artists though to be in a situation where they can't put their creativity out and not
but
sure.
That wasn't the case. I let that man do whatever he wanted to do.
And what happened? He
stayed meaning without a plan or without, I guess when he felt like you was leaving the label, he didn't feel like you had a plan, right?
Nah. he was just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that he was in Atlanta, he had a lot of Atlanta people in his ears, and he didn't really understand. He understands it now. You understand? If
Are
you
y'all
talk
cool
to him
now?
now, somewhat. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's like once people cross me and do things, it's like you're kind of dead to me. You understand? Like, and that's just being blunt. That's kind of what it is. We're not in an arguing space. Well, if I see him, I ain't gonna beat him up. But do I want to mess with him anymore? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he didn't understand that first album. His first album was such a monster album. You know, I did like half of it. He did like half of it with his Lamp, and it was such a monster album, and he doesn't understand. Like, after that album, we put such a stank on him. That's why the Jeezys, the 8-Ball and MJGs, the Rick Ross, they all came flocking to him because he was like the new, and he was 17, 18 when I got him. He was the new young dude, but he had like, it was a different type of R&B shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he has a special voice, too. He has a very unique voice.
Dude could dance his ass. He's dare I say, Michael Jackson-esque. You know what I'm saying? Especially with his voice and how his voice prints on to tape and everything like that. He's a monster. He's a monster. I signed that dude immediately. He was coming. He flew to New York. His lawyers had a meeting with L.A. Reid, but my lawyer at the time, Ron Sweeney, was like, yo, you should have him come. This guy's talented. He came to my office on 54th Street, and I signed him that day. He played me the Hey Young Girl, the world is yours, hey. That one record I played 100 times. I was like, yo, this is a smash. I thought it was the biggest smash ever. You know what I'm saying? Signed him. But I think because he was in Atlanta and wasn't in New York near me and around me all the time, you got to be a strong-minded person. Because everyone in Atlanta, you should do this. You know, it's the A, baby. You need to be like this. And then it's just distance. Because I ain't do nothing. I gave him bread. I broke him as a star, took his record #1. He went like platinum, maybe double platinum with that album. He went gold on the first album.
But his youth, it sounds like, and not understanding the way the business works and that things take time, he sounded anxious. He sounded anxious. Like you know how artists are. They want it right now.
He definitely, if you speak to him now, will blame some of it on his youth. You know what I'm saying?
So there was that. Mm-hmm. And then where'd you go?
I just was in the crib.
Chilling.
Playing poker.
The poker situation.
Sorry, because I heard you mention L.A. You're in that's recent.
That's like 2-3 years. 3 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But weren't you with Steve Madden too or something?
I still consult for Steve Madden. So every time when you seen Kendall and Kylie Jenner, when you seen anybody with them, I did the deal.
But you've been doing that for what, 7 years?
Like 5.
5 years.
Like 5 years. So basically, I was just a regular person. I was going to all my son's basketball games and stuff like that, and that played a factor too. Anyone that seen my reality show, Gotti's Way, there was a scene where Deb said, "Yo, what if me and your dad get a divorce?" My son broke down in tears, you know what I'm saying? He was like, well, he's not going to be my dad. Like, he didn't understand. So when I seen that was also a factor in the decision because I said, I'm going to go fuck with my sons because they need me. They ain't understanding what's going on. I ain't going to be with mommy, you know what I'm saying? But I still love mommy and care for mommy, but I ain't going to be with her, and they need to understand. So it was a lot of AAU basketball, Sunday trips, me getting the family, the dad in the stands, come on, or whatever like that. Every Sunday. In AAU, they travel. I'm there every travel. I sponsored his AAU team. You know what I'm saying? Gave them the money so they could travel, and I was totally that. So every weekend during the week, I was just with my sons playing poker and just being a regular idiot. You understand? But sometimes it was needed because you so much in the grind and so much in the thing. Sometimes you don't focus on the entertainment because you're so inside the business. You understand? So when you step away and you're just a regular person, you breathe again and you start thinking again. And that's what happened. And I always wanted to do TV and film. Always. I always wanted to do the whole triple threat in the entertainment business with music, TV.
Well, you could even tell from the way you guys did videos back then.
Thank you. Yes, I always was jacking movies. I always was putting dialogue in it and everything like that. Yeah, Grease.
Yeah.
You know who? Big shout out to my man, Un. got my Grease video. With other people, we was in a crazy time. And I did this at the time of beef and everything. And here I come with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John with John and Shanti, and I'm doing Grease because I just felt the bigness of it and the mesmerized record. Your kids. I said, yo, it's like Grease. I wanted to put him in the clouds, like, you know what I'm saying, how Grease was and really fluff it out.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. But I kept Rule All in Black with the chain on or whatever like that to keep it gangster like that. But Lance Rivera, he got it. When first, he was like, Gotti, man. He said, man, niggas don't know, man. You did Grease, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you niggas don't understand. He said, he was like, yo, Gotti is ill, man. Y'all know with the voice, because he's a big guy and he got the little...
When I recently, my wife and I were taking a road trip, and she was like, I'm taking over the music. I was like, all right. She
was repping.
She went down the Ja Rule.
Yes.
Path. The amount of hits when I thought it was done, I was like, oh, she hit 4. I was like, he had a good run between me and you.
Yeah.
Put it on me.
Always on time.
Always on time. That's it. We're done.
No.
And she's like, no. I got a few more.
Then a few more. It was like 8 more. I was like, yo, I forgot they had fucking 12 hits or whatever it was.
Yes. You know what happens when he does a show and I see the new artists and everything and who's going to perform after him? And he's just tearing the fucking crowd.
I would never do
to
that.
shreds. And they're looking, and they're like, damn, man, he got a lot of hits. And I'm like, yeah.
A lot. You should ask Ebro. You should ask Ebro about when he's going to bring Ja Rule back to Summer Jam.
Whenever it is, it'll be a moment. Listen, 20-year anniversary is June 1st, 2019. So that would be a good time because it's our 20-year anniversary.
Because I'll tell you what.
Everybody just be patient.
That teardown.
See? People don't know how to be patient.
It is a teardown.
People don't know how to be patient.
I see it all the time.
Man.
Listen, I see it all the time, but he has a lot of big records. You know what I'm saying? Just a lot of big records. So, you know, if you want him on stage for 30 minutes, it's like...
And there's another thing with Summer Jam too, right?
Nothing but hits.
Whether it was Wu-Tang's 20th anniversary or this year with B.I.G., right? Or when when Busta had his moment and brought out Rakim and Q-Tip and did Scenario, you know what I mean? I don't want to also stack the moments.
Yeah. You got to spread it out.
Let if it's someone's year, let them get their year.
People will. The people who follow.
Yeah, you absolutely got to do that.
People will feel a way about this, but I'm just saying, and you can like it or not, the Ja moment is different because the level of hits are so broad. Like they were such cultural
Irv, let me ask you a question.
Right.
Let me ask you a question because
they're not album cuts.
No, hits.
There's hits that everyone knows.
But this is a good point in this convo, right? Especially because of what musically you accomplished with record labels and the business.
Yeah.
And hits and things like that.
It's a great time. We was making a shit ton of money.
Right. But was that the moment, looking back, that because today we're sitting at a place where hip hop is just it, like on all levels.
Isn't it great?
It's phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
But was that the moment of the first super mainstream rap star post LL? Because I think LL Cool J Curtis Blow, LL Cool J.
Curtis Blow wasn't LL though.
No, I know, but I mean it went in levels. Like Curtis and then LL went up, and then
I hear what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like
you saying with our era, it was in my era, it was like a breakthrough.
Because Big was about to be that, right? And Pac had moments of that, right? But then obviously those runs got cut short, and then there was this.
You know what I attested to? The bigness of hip hop in our era, and specifically the Jay-Z, Big, Pac, Nas, DMX, like that era. I attested to MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice.
Facts.
And people always talk shit about them or whatever. But I bet you a lot of suburb kids' first record was probably MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice.
But that showed you how far it could go.
These guys were selling 25 million records. So they brought a whole new wave of thing. And then, a Tribe hit, and they shitted on MC Hammer and saying this is thing.
Proper. What you say, Hammer?
Proper. Rap is not pop.
You call that stop.
It is pop though now.
Guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
Newsflash. It is. Right? So, and it's great. Pop. It's great. But I think what happened is people got brought into the culture with these albums, Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, and then they said, I want to see what this is about, what the real shit is about. So that was their introduction, but now they wanted to see real go further. And that's what made Pac sell 10 million, Big sell 10 million, Jay Hard Knock Life sell like 8, 9 million.
And then you had things in there like the Chronic and Snoop. Let's not take nothing from Snoop, because Snoop was a thing, a huge
and then
thing.
the gangster, and it just kept growing and growing. But I give Hammer and Vanilla Ice, I give them some credit. I give, of course, Dr. Dre and like that whole West Coast movement. But it was a combination of these things that just made it where now it was commonplace for artists to sell 4 or 5 million. To sell 4 or 5 million albums. I tell Drake all the time, I'm like, Drake, you don't even understand. Like, if you was in our era, you would be selling 15 million, 10, 20 million a clip.
Yeah.
Your first week would be 2 million. First week, no. 2.5.
Well, now Drake's streaming numbers, I mean, they definitely
his streaming numbers tells the story.
That's how you can.
But there's nothing like you sold 15 million, especially for the renegotiation.
Well, now that they've bundled the metrics and the streaming and everything kind of works all together.
It's still fuckery, though.
Tell me why.
It's the labels. You know, we can't track or monetize fully what the stream or what this means or what backdoor deal that they're cutting with Spotify, with Apple, with thing. It's a trickle down. You understand? So
you don't feel
Apple
like it's
gives the
transparent
Universal
enough.
Music Group $250 million because that's their royalty check or whatever for the streams. It's not trickling down right. It's not trickling down right.
It is very difficult to have it work exactly right.
It's not
very, because there's no transparency. Right. But let's go back to the physical.
There's no analytics. There's no metrics probably to what this is.
Let's go back to the physical, though, because even during the physical era of selling CDs.
It was still getting jerked.
Right.
They still figured out a way. You know, it was the biggest fuckery? And Murder Inc. was a huge international label. All of our acts, if we sold 4 or 5 million here, we did another 3 outside the States. Mm-hmm. But with me, when I found out the fuckery, I had a 50-50 joint venture. But in the U.S.
What'd you have international? Nothing?
14 points.
14 percentage points.
Now here's the fuckery, because each territory has a marketing spend, has a thing, but they're using the video that we spent in America. So really, what they're spending international is not a lot of money.
You already
They're using the tools that is provided by America. So there is no spend of which they're getting all of that money. And I used to be like, what do you mean? I want the same on the pound, the yen. I said, it's the same shit. Nigga, give me my money. You get 14 points.
Because when you structured your deal,
that's just the fuckery in the deal. I could sit here for days and tell you about the fuckery. The fuckery it starts with the lawyer. Most of these lawyers, they leading everyone to the fuckery.
Yeah. Well, because all the lawyers have relationships inside. That's how they keep it.
Well, a lot of people don't understand.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't understand what the role of their lawyer even is. So my brother's a music lawyer, and my brother happens to be a rare good guy who that's not the relationships he has. So I meet artists, right? And I'll be like, hey, naturally, I'll be full disclosure. I'll be like, hey, if I like an artist, I'll be like, do you have a lawyer? And if they're like, well, half the time they go, my manager has a lawyer. I go, no. You need a lawyer for your manager. Right. You need a lawyer to separate you and your manager.
Lawyers watching lawyers.
Yeah, you can't. No, the label has some. No, they don't even get that you have to start. Lawyer is the first place you need to start your own person.
I'm going to give people, listen, this is a jewel. I'll give them a jewel, but it's hard to adapt it. Look at Suge Knight. Who was his lawyer? David Kenner. David Kenner was a criminal lawyer, right? But if you're a lawyer, you're smart, you know things. But that was a great move by him, because why? He had no relationship with any of these music guys. None. So now he's the hottest motherfucker on the planet. You're going to pay him. And it wasn't, yo, I helped you out on this deal. You got to look out for me.
Now it was a guy who had no connections to the music industry.
There was no connection.
Right.
There's no connection.
As opposed
whatsoever.
to, hey, you should be good because I also work with this one, and I'm trying to. No, the lawyer was just cared about Suge. That was it.
Listen, I remember Alan Grubman. Alan Grubman is like one of the biggest lawyers. He's like Jimmy's lawyer. He's the lawyer to most of these executives. He was Leo's lawyer. He was Doug Morris's lawyer. Right. So I catch a meeting with him. This guy is the funniest guy too. He's a little fat guy, a little fat Jewish guy. So he goes and I get into his meeting. He stands up. You made it. You're in my office. It's how cocky this motherfucker is. And he says, listen, Irv. Listen. I'm not going to bullshit with you. Any deal that any lawyer says they could give you, I'll add $5 million. I'll get you $5 million more because I'm the best, right? And he says, I'm going to tell you something, and you know it, and you never forget it. He said, I'm going to tell you this. It's not about the money. It's about the money. Like, this nigga's a comic. Yeah. He's gonna be, you made it. You're in my office. I'm like, who the fuck is this motherfucker? Right? But had me dying laughing. But the reason why he could say that when I found out is he's all of these guys' lawyers. So he could be like, yo, come on, Doug. I just got you a $100 million deal. Give my guy the extra $5 million. It's not your money. Shut up. It's done. And that's how he was moving. But then he's also part of leading you to the wolves.
Right.
So he'll get you that $5 million, but
you're stuck.
Don't talk no extraordinary shit.
Because then you're out.
Yeah, don't talk. I'm not gonna piss Doug off because that's when my bread is fully buttered. This little snazzy deal you're doing is all right, and I like
but
it.
Ultimately, I have to.
I do $100 million deals with him and Vivendi. Right. You know what I'm saying? Him and Edgar. I talk to Edgar for him. You understand?
Speaking of
great talk right now. You're checking out Irv Gotti, but I still haven't. You're at home, Steve Madden. Now you're in L.A. or Atlanta shooting Tales.
But you hustled for 3 years in L.A. in the middle trying to get the deal for Tales, correct?
Absolutely.
And you're also working on separate films in L.A.
I also got Murder Inc., the TV series that deals with Paramount.
What is this?
My Life. They bought My Life rights and gonna turn my life into a TV series. And it'll be called Murder Inc. And it's really about Murder Inc.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And it'll start
from the childhood.
Start maybe not the childhood, but it's gonna see early days.
We're gonna see Mike Geronimo.
We're gonna see Mike Geronimo.
Right.
You're gonna
Blunt
see
Records?
Yeah, we gotta see
Blunt
Records.
TVT, Steve Gottlieb.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna see, you know what I'm saying, DJ Irv before. You'll see exactly how I got the name Irv Gotti. I was walking out and I was waiting for Jay-Z. We on tour. I was his DJ. We coming out 560 State Street, which is right across from fucking Barclays.
Yep.
Which how crazy
I know
is
people
that?
who live there now.
Yep.
560 State. Yeah,
Yep.
it was a nice apartment, little
Still is.
condo. It still is, right? So Jay came out and he just said, yo, I'm gonna call you Gotti. You can see how Murder Inc. name came about.
So why did he say that?
You'd have to ask Jay. Ask him. Next time y'all ever speak to Jay, ask him if he's
whatever
up here.
that is.
Whatever that, yeah. He
doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't have to talk to anybody anymore.
This guy is like, I hit him when 444 came out, and he had the whole world stuck on Stupid. And I was like, I hit him and said, I'm not surprised. Great album. And that's it. Because he doesn't shock me no more. Like, this guy does so much incredible things. Like, I'm like, I expect it. I expect you to do unbelievably great things until you're dead. You understand?
Yep.
And when you do the great things, I'm just going to go good. You're up to par.
Again.
Yeah,
Another
good.
one.
Good. You
Another
understand?
one.
Good. You understand? But like how many incredible things this guy is done. He had the whole world. Strippers is pissed off. They ain't getting tipped for like 2 weeks. You understand?
Nobody want to hold up the money.
No one wanted to hold up the money. To my man, Little Boosie said, man, I don't listen to Jay-Z, and that's how we do it down here. And he was the first to like step up and say, fuck that. I'm holding my goddamn money.
I couldn't believe how committed people were to holding their money into their ear.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that much of a
Which is so, how stupid is that? But Jay is just on a whole other level. What did he say? He said, Joe, that's a
we don't
disconnect.
call that money
ain't
over here.
And it ain't. Like,
if you can hold your money to your ear.
I'm on the side of Jay with this. You understand? Like, everything he's saying was absolutely on point. But I said, Jay, hold on, no kid. We was those ignorant niggas when we was thing.
But I think that's the point.
And it's a process.
Growth, yeah.
I said it's a process.
But
what you're talking is the elevated thing. But nigga, I remember when he had the Gucci link. He had this big Gucci link. It was big. It was the heaviest chain because it was solid. You know, other niggas' shit was hollow. His shit was solid. He had a Gucci. This shit had to weigh like 10 pounds. I swear to God. I was like, what the fuck is this? Look how heavy this shit is. He's like, yeah, you spent a lot of money on that. You understand? Like,
but back then
we had the Lexuses with the TVs in the headrest.
But you guys didn't have an elder statesman like Jay to go,
that was some bullshit.
So you think he'll change it?
I think things will evolve, but things will evolve.
Here's the thing, guys.
Nah, he ain't gonna change.
Kids are gonna be kids. Young people are gonna be young people. Young people are supposed to tell us OGs to fuck off. And us, as people who have already done it, we're supposed to go, yo, my man, you know you're playing yourself. Go ahead, play yourself. And I hope you recover from playing yourself.
But here's what I say. In the hip-hop community, right? In the hip-hop community, we need those bullshit things. I'm 47, but I'm still a victim of it. I bought a Wraith. I paid $450,000
for a car.
And I bought a Wraith. But why did I do it? It was more so because I didn't want people to think, oh, Gotti fell off. You know how niggas get to talking. That nigga fell off. 50 crushed him. He ain't got no bread. He ain't got nothing. So it's like, yo, I got to stun on him a little bit.
That's not a little bit.
No, that's not a little bit.
That is,
no. Irv, a Wraith is not a little bit.
All right, you're right.
I got a $1,000 chain is a little bit.
Right.
Okay?
Nah,
a $450,000 Wraith is
I got $450. And I pull up, and when them doors come open, they say, Gotti doing it, and then they still want to fuck with me. It's like, boom, when I got the actors and actresses and I take them out, I gotta be in that rave because they want
marketing.
They tell other actors, yo, Gotti's he's the coolest, he's the best, he's doing it, and they speak well. You know what I'm saying?
So it's marketing.
If I had a Prius, they'd be like, yeah, I don't know about Gotti.
They would say he's
economical.
Economical. He's environmentally conscious. That's it right now.
Let's talk about the culture. If we talk about the hip hop culture, we're not environmentally conscious, economical crowd.
Well, some.
Often no, we're not.
But mostly no. And by the way, well, you're actually not even just talking about hip hop. You're talking about America. Because the reason hip hop is the biggest selling genre in music is because the imagery and things are the fabric of people pursuing the highest level of the American fantasy.
Yes.
Right? And you're seeing have-nots go as hard as they can
to get there.
And that is entertaining to many, intriguing to many, offensive to others.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all of that bundled in there, and that's why hip-hop goes that far.
But it's funny, Chappelle told us yesterday that he still stunts on occasion. He's still Chappelle.
Yeah, just to remind people.
And Chappelle absolutely
he didn't say to remind me.
He
didn't say to remind me. He said, so people like me. The same thing you just said.
He said, yeah, I want people like, I want to make sure people like me. I'm hot.
It's something that I think about.
But you can. The problem is
Jay-Z don't need a Wraith. Jay-Z could pull up in a Prius
because he just
whatever.
walks up as Jay. He's old.
Yeah, and people will start probably buying Priuses if Jay-Z pulled up in a Prius. If Jay-Z pulled up in a Prius and was like, yeah, this is the wave, this is what I'm on now, niggas is gonna go buy Priuses.
Facts. He did it with jerseys. No, we don't wear jerseys.
We button downs. We button downs. I seen more niggas pissed off with a closet full of jerseys like, man, fuck Jay-Z. You understand?
Same way they was mad about the money. I saw that. I lived that
Remember?
too.
There was
Remember, and niggas tried to hold on a little bit like, fuck it, I'm wearing my jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll go out and be like,
you doing that?
Yo, when Fab was here, he was talking about that. He still has
He kept him.
Fab is a Jersey king.
Yeah,
no, but they back now. He held out. They back now.
Oh, so he's because
you good with a jersey
he wore a
now.
jersey.
Now you got to get them all hammed. You got to get them all
Because they was
tight.
too big. They was too big.
Slim him down.
You got to take that 4X and make it a 1X.
Irv, talk to us about your partnership with 300 and why you chose the artists that are here today.
A partnership with 300 happened so naturally. It's beautiful. Kevin Liles heard I was making music. I was making music because BET didn't give me a lot of money to make this TV series, so I could only license the record that the series is about, the episode is about. I couldn't license multiple. I only did that with D'Angelo because it was such a meaningful thing, but that's the only other licensed record you will hear in Tales. So it handcuffed me and forced me to get back into the studio because I wanted the music and I wanted everything to be right. So now I'm back in the studio, and me and my production partner, Chink, we was making shit, and it was coming out incredible. Like, I'm like, yo, these shit is hot. You know what I'm saying? The beats and everything's hot. I said, yo, we got to put somebody on this, and I just put them in Tales in the music, and it's a new artist. I don't have to license it. I'll just break a new artist. Chris, my brother Chris, had Boogie Bird with Adventures. He'd been telling me about Boogie Bird for about a year. He was like, Irv, I'm telling you, yo, listen to me. Once this guy gets with you, he's going to go because he's super talented. He sings. He's got the melody shit. He's a big hit record maker. He's Murder Inc. He's there. And Chris was championing Boogie for about a year. So when I had those things,
Boogie Bird, right?
Boogie
Come
Bird.
on, step over,
Come
bro.
say hello.
See your face.
It's Boogie. Say hello,
What's going
Boogie.
on, man? How y'all doing, man? What's going on? How y'all feeling?
So he told me this, and now when I made the beats, I was like, okay, I could let me work with him. They came to Atlanta, and he stayed, and I threw him test after test.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Test, like songs. You just make this record, record this, come up with
A
something.
test with me is I'm going to give you a song and I'm going to give you a little direction on what specifically I want on the song. One of the first tests was this record called Troy's Theme. Troy's Theme was a beat that we made for the F the Police episode. So how I do it is when it's an episode and it's a Dr. Dre record, Fuck the Police, so all the music, I want it to feel like Dr. Dre. So I just go into my Dr. Dre bag. So one of the records in my Dr. Dre bag is Bitches Ain't Shit. So I made a beat that ain't Bitches Ain't Shit, but it feels like Bitches Ain't Shit or whatever like that. And I said, okay, Boogie.
Live drums, you know, the turn around, the loop, the whole thing.
It's all of that, right? So now I go there and I say, all right, Boogie, this is what I want on it. You know what I'm saying? You got to like dive into maybe your Snoop bag or whatever like that. He destroyed it, right? So after he does that, then we put on another beat. We Need. It's just like a down south and it got that slow drag and it's got a feeling to it. And he, with that one, he just was rhyming, but I picked out 4 bars. He was in the verse, he had, we need just a little more liquor, we need just a couple more hoes, which is a line I love. I said, who don't need more liquor and hoes, right? So he said, just a couple more hoes, we are on a whole lot of drugs and we up, and you can't bring us down. That was in his verse. I said, stop. And I crossed out every other part of the verse. And I said, that's the hook. Right? I said, nah, that's the hook. And I said, make the whole verse that flow. You know what I'm saying? One flow, the whole shit, like on some Fetty Wap shit or some shit like that. Annihilated that. So I just was throwing him tests and he was killing it. And then Good Die Young was just.
You want to let him tell? You want to tell the story on this one?
Good Die
Young. You know, Irv's a salesman, so I want to hear. If, you know what I mean? He'll pitch it. He'll sell it. He'll sell us Ice Cubes in hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a
Ice Cubes in hell. You need them, but they won't last long. So why you selling them?
They was like he said. Him and Chink had been in the studio making beats. You know what I'm saying? So I've been locked down in the studio with him in the basement for like 2 weeks now.
And where you from again?
DC.
DC.
Yeah, I'm from DC.
That's right.
So, you know, I was down there in the studio, Chink making beats every day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day, or they making something for the TV show. So they had came across that beat, the Good Die Young beat.
In connection with the scene, if you see F the Police, it's the scene when the lead character gets choked out, Eric Gardner style, I Can't Breathe style, and dies. So I needed an emotional ode for that scene.
But this is before he told me that. I just wanted the beat. I'm like, Chink, just give me the beat. I just want to write to the beat. Like I didn't know what he wanted, but so Irv finally decided, because Chink, he don't move unless Irv say, all right, you know, push that to Boogie, get that beat to Boogie. So he gave me the beat, man, and that's when he told me, he was like, yeah, Brody's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play this record when he dies. It's like that. So I went in there and I wrote to the record, man.
Smash.
I set to the record for like 2 nights.
Multi-formatted.
Yeah, set to the records for like 2 nights. I ain't write nothing. I didn't try to make no words. I just basically let the words come until I start hearing it. You know what I'm saying? And like those records like that where I don't force the words are always my best records, man. So Good Die Young is probably, like he said, like.
And where's this music available right now?
Tales playlist is available everywhere right now. The Tales playlist came out Friday, and it's on every streaming. It's out. Yeah, it's
Tales
out.
playlist.
Tales playlist.
You want to hear all this?
Tales playlist. And the thing with that record, like, I'm a little crazy, but I like to say Boogie's on the order of a Drake, right? And I say that because when you hear these records, just on Tales playlist, when you listen to his records, the difference of each record, like, I love Drake and how Drake could do.
By the way, whoever posted this for you, It says it came out in 2002, so somebody put this up.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's on Apple, I think, right?
Yeah, why did they do that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's 2017.
Apple screwing up?
And Apple screwed up, but I told Celine.
Because I was like, wait, you put this out in 2002? Shit, it's a prophet.
This is a classic.
You knew what was about to happen.
I'm about to say, I'm getting a little older now.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce us to these your other artists?
Yeah. So that's Boogie Stories with Chris, my brother. Fitted Circle story is with Benny Boom. Benny Boom is director of.
Wait, y'all a group?
They're a group, brothers, 2 brothers. So how I met
y'all looked alike.
Now listen, so how I got with them is Benny Boom, the great director, Benny Boom, director of All Eyes on Me, director of Trap Queens, and Cold Hearted for Tales. We was on set of Trap Queens, and he said, "Yo, Irv, you got to meet these guys." I said, "Who?" He said, "This group that I fuck with heavy." And like he was like, I tried to do something with him, but I got caught up with movies and everything like that. But he said, "Yo, a lot of people tried to sign them. They was with me in St. Louis and everything like that." And he says, "Yo, one of the dudes is like a producer and is a genius, like record maker. His little brother's like an artist, dope energy, rock star, like new rap rock star energy." So boom, when I met him on set, again, this is when I was looking, right? So I'm like, come to the studio. And with them, it was very interesting because, these is 18, 20, these are young guys, new rap energy, and I'm the old head. You understand? So I'm smart enough to know that I am the old head, listen to them, right? But try and give them things to make their music and their sound a little bit different and give them that Murder Inc. feel-good, big record energy that I know I possess. So when they got in, here's the funny thing. When they got in, I think they was trying to impress me with lyrics. You know what I'm saying? It's Irv Gotti, Jay-Z, DMX. So he was trying to impress me. I said, yo, stop. I said, guys.
You'll never impress me with lyrics in your life.
I said that in the night.
I came up with Jay-Z,
I said I came up with some of the illest dudes ever. So I said, forget that and just focus on big hit records. Yeah. I said, that's what I want from y'all. I don't want any of the lyrical and fuck all that. I said, man, give me smashes, feel good, great smashes. And then they started vibing with me, and I was listening. Yo, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. And they started getting it. So the synergy with me, with the old head, with the new generation was ill. It was fucking crazy. And we started, and how they record is crazy. Like they don't listen to their voices. Cause they doing things producer-wise to manipulate the voices and how the new guys are doing it. So I'm like,
so wait, they're just laying down ad-libs and sounds and words.
I'll let them tell it. On the process.
You don't have to give away your secrets if you feel like.
Basically, like, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the time when people record, they can hear themselves. You know what I'm saying? But we just want to feel it instead of just like kind of hearing ourselves and listening to how it sound on the song. So we just want to feel it. So I just take an earphone off and just flow with it. You know what I'm saying? And it just come out dope.
Because it seems like it throw you off a little bit when you when the eye on, I feel like it's kind of throwing you off. So it's just better to just feel it. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Yeah.
Like they know what it is.
Listen, so for me, who traditionally,
but that's
But
Irv, that's like a real singer though. That's how
they usually take one headphone.
Yeah,
off,
they want to,
and they think, and that's how, and they want to hear themselves. But I've never seen that with rap.
Because it's a hybrid. It's not really.
As many of the greats that I've been around. Yeah. So when they was doing that, I'm like, and then Chink was recording. He said, hey, man. He said, yo, they don't want to hear themselves, right? I said, what? What you talking about, yeah? He says, they just hear the beat. I mute their vocal. And then he was like, they do things vocally knowing the effects that they're going to put on
that
it.
They can mess with later when they do hear it back, as opposed to when they're recording.
That's why I said this guy, Dave-O, this is Dave-O in Dallas, right? So this guy, I'm like, I'm looking at him on a producer's level. Holy shit. Because they're laying the vocal knowing how they're going to fuck with it. See, this is when I started. I think Travis Scott is the greatest artist right now. aside from Drake, I don't even put Drake in the comparison because he's just so different and unique that he's just fucking ill, right? But I think of the new generation, I'm a producer, so when I listen to music, I listen with a different ear.
Travis is a producer too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I found out he's making those beats,
Yes.
and his vocal production,
And the melody.
I ain't goosebumps every time. It'll be like, and then I ain't good. It's like he's octaving, or the way he's playing with his vocal. And if you ever notice, this is how you know he's an ill dude when he does his albums in the studio, because he has features, but his features never sound like his album. His features is good, but the things he does on his album, and that's because he's probably needs time, and he's
on the buttons.
Holy shit. This guy's
Travis is special.
Travis is fucking special. This
And
guy
he's special
is
on stage.
special.
He's special on stage.
Special.
Like a
Rock
big
star. Rock star. But when you see him on stage, he knows. I think I ain't even gonna say because that'll be our secret. I can't say, but I think he listens and does things like, because he knows when he does Goosebumps, how he recorded it is, the first 4 bars, I get goosebumps every time. And then after, because I get goosebumps. And if you watch when he does that next 4 bars, because I get goosebumps, the crowd is like, we're waiting. Here it comes. I get goosebumps. And they go fucking rock star crazy. And he got the, my rock star skinnies. You know what I'm saying? He knows. That's why with him, I'm like, I like artists who know what the hell they're doing.
But Irv, what you're articulating is artists that have had the luxury of studying the greats, right? And I think Kanye, and you could speak of this too, Kanye was the first artist that I saw in hip hop that got pieces of everything.
Yeah, he's a student.
And brought it all into one place.
And made his shit.
Beyond just the recording process, but the marketing process. Remember early Kanye with the bat? Remember he would only take photos with the bat, like he got it early, not because a label was telling him that's what to do. He knew that I had to get my thing in line, my brand in line, my sounds in line, everything in line with what I'm doing.
Kanye is absolutely one of the geniuses of hip hop, without fail, without question, everything.
And all of these guys studied that.
Yes,
and was raised on that.
And you could tell. He studied everything. He created his own aura, his own thing. His self-promotion game, it's like he tricked people to saying he's a genius at first. We all give him the credit of being genius, but he was saying it so early and so often, he like mind-fucked everyone to be like, they heard he's a genius so much, he's a genius.
Yo, I
and
heard
they just
Kanye's
start
a
repeating
genius.
it. Yeah. It's like, and his self-promotion game was unparalleled.
Pharrell didn't have the self-promo, but had all the other attributes.
Right. Pharrell's that's another just pure genius. Pharrell's just a pure genius. He's a God's gift because he's playing all of this shit. And I had the pleasure of being in the studio with him when he made one of Ja's beats. Made that shit in like 2 minutes. And bang, switched the note, ding, 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 the drums, boom, ding, 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 ding. Watched it. Swiss is like that too. I watched Swiss make monster records in like a minute. And there's nothing to it, but it's just so hip-hop and raw. How the fuck did he just do that? You know what I'm saying? It's just certain people definitely in this game I give all the credit to. Like, them niggas is problems, man. Big problem. But Travis, going back to the new artist, like, when he started doing it, I was like, oh, shit. And I felt myself learning. And I know a lot, but I start learning through them. And that's how I fitted. And with them, the same process. Gave them tracks, felt like these are the tracks. It was funny too, though, because they said, Gotti, man, if we don't do this to the track, man, we ain't fucking with it, right? Like, so every
certain movement, got to move.
It has to make a move and like this. So I would play a track and just peep them, and then they would look at each other, and then I see you start doing. I say, all right, we got them. You know what I'm saying? And then I say, yo, right to it. This is what thing. Feel good shit, and they just killed it. I've been blessed. God sent me all of these artists, and I've been blessed with like ill artists. My man Supreme, I got him through my man BJ, right? So, you know what I'm saying? BJ, my man, Big BJ, you know BJ. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? BJ, he's like also a descendant of the Supreme team. You understand? Because he has
Supreme.
Yeah, God B is his thing. God be Supreme Team, right? So that's another story, right? But he wouldn't get to me just because of that. I'm based on talent alone. So BJ was like, yo, you need to hear this record. You got to hear this record. So I know.
And you're from?
I'm from Queens, but Brooklyn.
Didn't want to assume that.
Yeah, Queens, but Brooklyn.
Yeah. So he's a New York boy. You know what I'm saying? But
sounds like Shawnee.
I
Queens,
know.
but Brooklyn. So you're from Queens, but you live in Brooklyn?
Well, yeah. Like I'm raised in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I claim Brooklyn more than Queens, but Queens is my background.
Oh,
So you're people from Queens, Supreme, and
Queens.
God be Supreme Team. Supreme Team. So listen, so that would never get somebody to deal just because.
But you gotta have the musical talent.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. I'm just saying that to say that it was an added plus, and you know what I'm saying. But at the simple fact, the music got to move me. So he gave me this record, and I never heard no record like this. I never heard an artist like this.
And I'm gonna say he's on the playlist too.
He's on the playlist. The record is called Pain. But hey, I want him to show you what I mean, because like he looks like a rapper. His mannerisms, everything is he's a rapper. He's thugged out. But then when you hear a thing, it's like a country record. Here, let me show you. Go.
All right, let me hear it.
Well, before we even do that, follow me on the gram, sir _
You gotta promote.
King.
You gotta promote.
Remember they said we wasn't gonna be shit. Sitting here like I can't believe this. Damn, I ain't got no time for my last girl. Said I lost my job, she hit the gas, yo. Shacking up here with my mama. She don't want me here, too much drama. Roll another one, I need a shot in it. Take the pain away, make it numb to me. Take another shot for tomorrow. Roll another J for the day. I'ma keep smoking till my eyes low. Pray to God I see another day. Roll up, pull up. I need another shot to the head.
First of all, that's amazing.
I
Give it
love
up
that.
for him right there. Love it.
Second of all, I've never heard that before.
Irv, let me tell you something. That's
He's like
that's
a
blues.
country ghetto
that's
nigga.
Blues. That's blues. That's blues, and that's gospel.
blues.
That's church. Don't call that country. I mean, it's before country, but I know what you're saying.
That's blue, but it's the pain the thing. But
Yes.
what I'm saying, so Ebro, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never heard no shit like that. When you hear the beat too, how it coincides, it's like hip hop.
You was raised in the church, sir. You went to church a lot?
I'm Muslim.
Muslim. Amazing.
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 No, but I never heard it. Right? So I heard the record, Spaz, put it in Tails F the Police episode, played it for Kevin Lyles. I said, Kev, this fucking record, I never heard no shit like this. Because Kevin's my partner, you know, and I want him to coincide. Kev heard the record, sign him immediately. What are you doing, Gotti? Don't wait. Go. Right?
Kev,
So we inked the deal. We signed him immediately. And it's like, yo, I'm so inspired by these three groups to get in the studio. I can't wait to make a love song with this guy with that fucking strange, weird, fucking folk music voice of his. You understand?
It's not that strange and weird, by the way.
Nah.
It's just
It's just
amazing to
bluesy
hear.
and soulful.
No. You know why it's strange and weird? Because I've never heard a voice that sound like that talking about ghetto shit.
Okay.
He's talking ghetto. Throw another shot on the mountain. Yeah, what? Like, he sounds like a country or blues artist.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone that's rooted in hip hop from the projects, from the hood, singing the words that he's singing sound like that.
Right.
That's what's. I'm like, this is crazy. So I want to run in the studio, give him another beat, and see what the fuck he does with this. But you know, a lot of people, they come up to me and they say, "Come on, guy, I want to." Inspiration has to work on both parts. I don't work unless I'm inspired. The reason why I could work so great with Jay-Z, DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti, those people inspired me. If you see me in the studio when I made a DMX record, I was DMX because I knew all his rhymes. So I would be in there and everything. I turned myself into these guys. That's how I could make the best record. But that happened because they inspired me. So if you don't really inspire me, you don't even want to fuck with me because you're not going to get the best me.
Before we let you go, everybody get this Tails playlist, Apple Music, whatever streaming service you use.
Yes.
You said multiple times through this conversation, we don't, often get chances to pick your brain, right? And most people don't.
Yeah.
You said many times in this conversation, big record. help them make a big record.
Yes.
What does that mean?
A big record to me, really pinpoint, if you want to pinpoint it, multi-format. Now, multi-format for those...
Is that a sonic quality? Is that a topic?
To me, it's just a feel-good, and if the record feels and resonates, that it'll hit the masses.
Because I think that's what a lot of artists are trying to figure out. When you say whether you're rhyming or whatever, when people say big, they think radio. And that's not what you're saying. It may go to the radio.
It's somewhat what I'm saying, but it's more of a feeling of a record that could hit everyone, and everyone is going to love it. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying any specific kind of record. Bad and Bougie was a massive record. You see what I'm saying? But it just felt as soon as I heard Raindrop, dropped out, Bad and Bougie. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just felt like, oh shit, this is a different hip hop record. It just felt like that way to me the minute I heard it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just radio, it's nothing, but it is a combination of everything, yo. It's a record, a big record should play on all formats. It should play on urban, rhythm, top 40. You see what I'm saying? And it should hit everywhere with the masses, not just the hood, not just the club, not just, in the car, because that's how I judge music. I'm like, there's club bangers, we all know that, and then there's music that's built for the car. What do I want to pull up in when I'm coming up in front of the club? What do I want to represent me? You understand?
When it's nice out, my windows are down. People are very conscious of what they're playing.
And they think, when I pull up to the club, when I get out the car, what song do I want people to know this is what I'm about? You understand? All of that factors into the big record.
Irv Gotti. Make sure you get that Tales playlist.
Make sure you get
out.
Some good shit on there.
Coming back October
10th after the BET Hip Hop Awards, which is the best lead-in the world.
There you go. Give it up for Irv.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's our pleasure.
And I would be up here more, but guys, I'm not in New York. I'm sorry.
It's good. We're gonna find you.